This is the 100th anniversary of NRF, which is the largest conglomerate of the Association of Retailers worldwide. Very appropriate for us to introduce a number of different products associated with Windows Phone 7 and with Windows 7 itself, related to the retail industry in particular. Okay, we're doing announcements, we're introducing and announcing products based on Windows Phone 7 that allow shoppers to connect with retailers, that allows retailers to provide information and promotion to consumers, as well as the same sort of function or business functions on Windows 7 laptops and other form factors or devices. The reason why this is relevant at this point in time is because what we have seen in the last 6 to 12 months is really a shift in the consumer mindset. The consumer today is an educated, wise, well-informed consumer, and they have access to all sorts of technology that then allows them to search, shop, and do all sorts of things associated with the retail industry. And what we're doing today ourselves is basically facilitate, in one hand, the access that consumers or shoppers have to go to the retail information, but at the same time enable retailers to reach out to consumers and provide the consumer with the information they need, access to products and services that retailers have, in basically enriching the dialogue in between retailers and consumers with companies and consumers. Our strategy is really based on, you can say, 3 basic pillars. The pillars associated with that consumer segment. How do you reach to the consumer that is educated, the consumer that uses technology today? And we have plenty of tools and services that allows that enrich the customer experience. The other segment of our, the other second pillar of our strategy is associated with the connection between the store. If you were to think about this in pretty generic terms, we call the connected experiences. The connecting experiences with the consumer, the connecting experiences within the retail store operations in a way that facilitates when the customer comes into the store and the experience that he has at the store. But beyond that is the experience of connecting the full retail enterprise. How that store, that consumer connects with other parts of the retail industry, of the retail enterprise. An example, HR functions, supply chain functions, and so on and so forth. So you got 3 pillars: the consumer segment, the store operation segment, and the enterprise segment. Those are the 3 pillars in which we base our strategy. Perhaps the best example of where Windows 7 has been used by retailers is Shop Direct, where they have deployed, I think it's about 800 units, with the purpose of really facilitating the dialogue with customers. It allows them also to have a much lower operation cost, and it also helps them with all the environmental strategy that the company has. So that's a clear example, as in the case of Shop Direct, where by using Windows 7, they have introduced efficiencies into the business in the way that they connect with customers, but also in the way they operate internally. Another example of this would be Windows Phone 7, the use of Windows Phone 7, where this was using an early stage of the program by which they would reach out to the consumer market in the grocery business. It's in the early stages, but it's a clear indication how Windows Phone 7, as a device that is readily available to consumers, actually is being leveraged by retailers as a way to reach to the rich consumer bases and bring in the case of Tesco, the grocery products to their attention and for them to facilitate their shopping. We spoke earlier about the fact that the consumer market today have access to technology in a way that it was completely unknown in the past, but now they have a rich set of options in terms of products and technology and so on and so forth. But in addition to that, we have this issue of being able to provide services and products to the enterprise, in other words, to retailers in general, where we can provide the backbone of their operations, the store operations, or ways for the retailers to reach out to customers. So we have that company today, a very unique position in which we can provide products and services to the consumer market, but also to the retailer, to the enterprise. I think that that's one of the unique things about Microsoft. I think that it's also important to understand that in that context, though, the role that our partners can play is very important. Why? Because not necessarily all our products are enriched by the partnership that we have with other ISVs and companies of that nature. So basically, the solution that goes to a customer or go to a consumer market is not just the Microsoft product, but it's also how it has been enriched by our partner community. So basically, when you look at it, it's a very interesting proposition. The consumer market, the enterprise market, enriched with the participation of our partners.